Hello and welcome. Today we're going to dive into something pretty exciting for anyone in dental education, using generative AI to help us create really high-quality assessments for our students. Think of it as a brand new tool that could seriously change how we tackle one of our most time-consuming tasks.
Right? I mean, we all know this feeling. It doesn't matter if you're designing a multiple-choice exam or a super complex clinical simulation, building assessments that are both fair and effective takes a huge amount of time and expertise. It's a challenge every single one of us in education faces.
So, here's the idea I want you to hold on to. Don't think of this technology as some kind of autopilot that just takes over completely. Instead, picture it as a skilled co-pilot sitting right there with you. It's a tool that's designed to handle all the routine stuff, which frees you up, the expert pilot, to focus on the important things, like navigation, safety, and the overall mission of creating a fantastic assessment.
Okay, so let's get into our flight plan. We're going to look at the practical, step-by-step process for generating all sorts of dental assessments. From your classic one best answer questions all the way to structured clinical exams.
First things first, let's just do a quick refresh so we're all on the same page. On one side, you've got your one best answer and short answer questions, OBAs and SAQs. These are kind of the workhorses for testing foundational knowledge and how students apply it. Then on the other side, we have the OSCE, the Objective Structured Clinical Examination. That one's all about assessing those hands-on clinical and communication skills in a simulated real-world scenario. And believe it or not, AI can actually help draft pieces for all of these.
The basic process here is actually remarkably simple. It's really just 3 steps. First, you upload your source material. This could be anything, a chapter from a textbook, your own lecture slides, whatever. Second, you prompt it. You just give the AI a clear, specific command. And third, you receive a first draft of questions that you can immediately start working with.
And this slide just shows you perfectly how simple it can be. You can see right here someone uploaded a basic anatomy PDF. The prompt was super straightforward, construct type A MCQs. And boom, just like that, the AI spits out a list of relevant multiple choice questions, options and all, based directly on the text it was given. You get a first draft in seconds, not hours. It's incredible.
But, and this is a big but, getting that first draft is really just the beginning. This brings us to the most important part of our whole flight plan, the pre-flight check. This is where your expertise as an educator becomes absolutely 100% essential.
So this leads to the million-dollar question, right? You've got this amazingly fast, super powerful tool, but is the stuff it generates ready to go, right out of the box in front of your students? The short answer? No way. Not without your expert review.
So why is that oversight so critical? Well, this slide breaks it down perfectly. AI can just be plain wrong. It can spit out factual inaccuracies. It can create content with subtle or not so subtle biases baked into it from its training data. And get this, sometimes it can even invent plausible-sounding answers to questions that are actually complete nonsense. And of course, it might create stuff that's just not relevant to where you are, or more importantly, doesn't actually align with your specific learning goals.
This quote really gets to the heart of the problem. An AI might give you a question where the answer is technically correct, but the logic it used to get there, it could be totally flawed based on weird statistical patterns instead of actual sound clinical reasoning. And without an expert, that's you, looking it over, you might never, ever catch that. And this is a really tricky technical problem. Research has actually shown that when developers try to programmatically fix one kind of bias, they can accidentally introduce a completely different one. It's like playing whack-a-mole. This isn't a simple issue with a simple tech fix. It absolutely requires nuanced human judgment.
Okay, and this chart right here really drives the point home with data. Now, don't worry about the term bland Altman plot. All you need to see is this. That red line in the middle, that's perfect agreement. That's where the AI and a human expert see eye to eye. And look, most of the dots are clustered right around it, which is awesome. It means the AI is usually on the right track. But, and this is the important part, look at those outliers, the ones way up high or way down low. Those are the moments the AI got it wrong, sometimes really wrong. And that's exactly where your expertise is absolutely non-negotiable.
So how do you actually do that expert review in a systematic way? Well, let's walk through a super practical vetting checklist that you can use for every single question, whether it's a simple OB or a complex OSCE scenario. Here it is. For every single question, you just ask yourself these things. Does it actually align with what I want my students to learn? Is the clinical scenario authentic? Realistic? Is the wording crystal clear? Is every bit of information factually correct?
For multiple choice, are the wrong answers believable but definitely wrong? And so critically, is the question fair and totally free of any bias? This checklist is your secret weapon for turning that AI draft into a polished, high-quality assessment.
And this brings us right back to our main idea. The AI is a powerful, incredible co-pilot that can make your workflow so much faster. But you are, and you always will be, the pilot in command. You're responsible for that final product and for the educational journey of your students.
So at the end of the day, the goal here is to augment your skills, not replace you. It's about using this tech to automate maybe 80% of the drafting work so you can dedicate your valuable time and expertise to that critical 20%, the deep review, the refinement, and making absolutely sure your assessments are valid, reliable, and fair.
And that kind of leaves us with one final thought to chew on. The promise of this technology isn't just about saving time, it's about unlocking potential. By handing over the grunt work to your AI copilot, you get back the time to focus on what really matters, designing more insightful, more effective, and maybe even more innovative assessments. So the real question is, what are you going to do with that time to help shape the next generation of dental professionals?